The universe is an ever-expanding void containing everything there ever will be in its cold, dark embrace. Somewhere in it is a little place known as Anachronox, an artificial planet believed to have been created by some long-forgotten species. Unfortunately, the rumors as to why they abandoned the planet is due to a virus that may have wiped them out. Well, that's depressing. So are the people that replaced it. Anachronox has become the central hub for people trying to escape their past lives. Criminals and corrupt cops and those just trying to have some sort of life in this melting pot of alien life. That brings us to our supposed hero, Sylvester Buscemi. Or Sly Boots, a successful private eye on Anachronox, at least until the woman he was in love with got kidnapped, and then he brought the woman who was in love with him to get her back in a hovercar street chase, resulting in the death of one and the other leaving. Damn, life sucks, but no worries because he turned to drinking, and the many physical, momentary pleasures that alien worlds can offer, and this set him on the path to saving the galaxy. I'm Lord Sett, and welcome to my review. I must say I've seen a lot in my existence, but this surprised me. I'm Beastlord J, and I'm always happy to be here. I played the game, I'm also very surprised. I enjoyed the game far more than I was expecting for how old it is. Always good when something doesn't turn out to be a pile of shit. That unfortunately brings us to this steaming pile of baggage, Sly Boots. The pot really shouldn't call the kettle black. What? Nothing. I mean, like you, he had a hard life. Much he brought on himself, but despite his many shortcomings, he is very interesting character overall. Go on. Like you, he likes to drink. He was thrown out a window in the very first 5 minutes of the game, recovering from a hangover and lost his job. Desperate for another, he's willing to take literally anything. A life completely controlled by chaos. Yet he's still pretty cool. That golden tongue of yours saves you again. Yeah, I guess he and I are pretty cool. But where I'm a god with a big dick, he's a damn good detective. His neighborhood bartender giving him work that leads him to a man named Grumpos.
I got all three. So now I gotta find the places where I gotta stick the...
Grumpy and Sly here get along perfectly, especially since they both seem to be perverts leading interesting lives. The best of people. But yeah, see, he's after something specific. A piece of ancient alien tech that may advance technology 1,000 years. Mystech. Mystech was believed to be left behind by an alien race, but they weren't exactly active at the time. So after Sly proved himself competent enough to even locate the artifact they needed, it gets taken by an alien named Detta, a crime lord whom Sly owes. Turned out this was exactly what they needed. After some scolding from Grumps, they go to a planet that houses the greatest minds of the galaxy. Well, the universe must really hate this guy because the planet explodes a few hours later.
Okay, that guy that just got hit by a rock was dumb. He was already out in space. Why? Come on, you just suck. Wow. Wow.
This destruction caused a chain reaction that would unite the people who would save the universe. One of the allies is a planet. A group of some of the most unlikely, unsavory, gross, dangerous, and almost hopeless individuals to save what threatens the entire universe. Seriously, an entire goddamn planet. Oh shit. You've played dozens of RPGs, but this is the first time you could say you've allied with an entire planet. Yes, the game did do an amazing job taking you for a ride, and was presented and told wonderfully. Each character had a unique, interesting, and bleak background. All of these amazing, complex characters made this journey incredible and made me want to see how things unfolded between them. If HBO did a 12-episode season, I'd be glued to it right now, especially if they managed to capture the world that they created. It never completely takes itself too seriously. This begins to change around the middle of the game when the scope of what they're dealing with gets revealed. Nothing that we've never seen before in a game, but once again, it's about the presentation of it all and the time that it came out in. That and the love that went into it. You have a variety of worlds to discover with a wider variety of people and hilarious situations. Things that make you curious about the world and what's going on. They also really didn't hold back. I, till this day, will not forget Philip, the guy with the normal name in an alien sex town.
Unfortunately, Philip, you have the most normal name here. This place doesn't smell like frat house. Okay, that's something. All right, guys, I'm getting cold. Can you at least untie my hands? Wow. Cold sweat sex machine. There's the orange navel. Let's just keep going around in a circle. Yep, exactly. You have the mandible panist, right? You got Lube Job standing over there in the corner, and then there's just a guy named Philip. Like, thanks. He's like, yeah, I'm not like these other people trying so desperately fucking hard, right? I'm just Philip. I own who I am, right?
I do worry about Philip. This game's humor and themes balance between a very adult and something you'd see in a Ratchet and Clank game, and plays very well with these worlds. There's always something to discover, and it is worth taking the time.
Dude, fuck, you know, she's not even just stripping. She's just showing off on stage. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking badass dancer. Damn! I love her. She's a boss, yo.
Sarah.
Oh, we know each other.
Hey, Bucelli.
I like her. I like her.
Collecting cards, skills, magic, side quests, and the characters that change in areas with your progression of the story. This game constantly holds your attention in every area. Now, the music in this game was cool, and just that. Really, pretty much that. Anything you may imagine in a sci-fi adventure, that's basically it. Everything matched the theme well, and there was nothing I disliked. Now, with most RPGs, especially turn-based ones, balancing story and actual gameplay can be a bit difficult. Pacing is the key to these, and the struggle between what should be said and having the player actually interact within the world around them is hard. This very sensitive balance can easily make your game, or leave your entire audience begging for it just to be over. The reason we are bringing this up is because gameplay was carefully constructed to keep your attention in a wonderful way we feel newer game devs could benefit from. So that brings us back to the world building and creativity and care that went into the world. For instance, learning skills. Skills aren't learned from level ups, they are located throughout the world. Here we meet Detective Rook. We learn from this tall glass of whiskey that he used to work with our MC and is currently hunting down a murderer. You then gotta pull out your handy dandy camera and proceed to take photos of the scene while interviewing anyone in the area. Then you go back to fill him in where he rewards you for your hard work. So why is this so impressive to us? Because it's just fucking great, this world that they created. The first area is the planet Anachronox in the city, a city with bars and people walking around, and they do their best to make it seem alive for the time. Areas where cops might attack you or you'll get jumped by thugs. Multiple shops and other interconnecting areas that you may never find during your first run of the area. So the detective quest line opened us up to a completely different environment altogether, an area where we can meet new people, find equipment, or just laugh at some of the situations. And it is easy to miss something because they crafted this world very carefully, and it's pretty big. All of that, then they reward us with a special attack. Oh yeah, we are a detective, and they're utilizing that into our ability to help with quests. Made me wet. But that's not just for Sly. Every character has skills outside of combat that allows them to explore the world in their own way. Unique individuals that can interact with for story and skills and simply see them react to things happening around them. And with about 4 planets to explore and even more weird locations, this game is boss as fuck. This game makes you want to backtrack because the world is so intriguing. Take a look at the comic book supervillain area. This level is so cool.
Chance, you know? Between the 3 of us.
I'm sorry. Were you talking to me?
What an ass.
Sir,
Didn't I tell you to shut up?
we're getting conflicting readings on a starship rapidly closing in on our course.
Spit it out, dude. Drop
Wait, so if I didn't bring her, how would this have played out?
Clearly malfunctioning. Well, this is the
It would have been a different
starship
conversation.
on record.
I like.
Your records suck.
I like.
How big can it be?
That is fucking big. That is big. Yo, that sucks. Yeah, it's big. Yeah, I must say I wasn't expecting this at all. From the absolutely ridiculous alien nerd posing as a supervillain to his army of evil goons with backstories.
On comic books? Men in tights with big muscles, punching each other in the crotch?
We're unfamiliar with the literature.
Crapton Comics were a line of superhero comic books based on real-life superheroes from planet Crapton. I used to read them all the
Crapped
time.
on. Okay. Funny.
Is this safe?
No, but this is how it's done in the comics.
Exactly.
Come on.
I'm glad our guy is so confident now.
Meanwhile,
Wow, I love this game so
shifts
much.
attention away from his new guest to conduct a
I love it.
surprise
I love it
inspection of
very
his
much.
establishment. El Pinto and les enfants terribles.
Wow, he's being
recruited
serious.
directors during his visit to Circus City, this powerful party of petite pugilists packs a pint-sized punch of potent pain. The Laser League of Devil Slugs. Discovered during the fall of the hero saga, these malevolent mollusks are conditioned to kill.
Even the little paws.
Shadow Brigade.
How many Hitchman tights does this guy have? Jeez.
Frigate HMS Pudding encountered the villain ship. Driven insane by a canister of ricticide nerve gas, they were transformed into his diabolical servants.
Jeez.
They march out in search of their prey. A man, a woman, and a planet. Richter's hopes his new guests will put up a decent fight.
What a weirdo.
Just to find out there's an entire civilization that grew in a comic book fashion. Seriously, if we're understanding this correctly, their world developed this way. Comics that Sly used to read as a kid, who he now meets his favorite hero, El Pruno, whose comic books are actual documents of his life. Oh shit. They even added minigames between chapters as part of the story and some optional. That was very appreciated. Our setup had some issues with the minigames, but they allowed you to skip them if you wanted, which made me love them more.
It's actually very hard to do with a mouse. I'm not even kidding. How do I quick reload? Is there a fast reload button? Come on. Okay, you guys. Okay, this is actually kind of hard to do. I'm not even joking. I don't know what you want. They didn't tell me the button. Sure. Oh my god. Oh man, this is so sad. And why are they so active? Come on. I killed like one of them, you guys. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not. Wow, this. They let you skip this part. I like the devs so much because not only is it hard to shoot them, but the enemies are very active and very fast. On top of that, they didn't give me a tutorial. It's telling. I'm pretty sure it's just asking me if I want to go left or right, but it's not telling me how. I think I just figured out that the part at the bottom was my health bar, and I don't know how to fast reload. I gotta click at the bottom, and I don't have a lot of shots. Come on. All right, let's do it again.
Yeah, it felt good going through the surprises in this game and how they decided to present its entertainment, which hopefully you understand why we had to backtrack a bit, because this is a major part of gameplay. But now it's combat time. I love it. I do too, so much. Combat is time-based. A bar fills up and your character can make an action. Along with special moves, you also have a magic system called Mistech. There are different elements that match the character, making them stronger. You can also cause effects such as confusion or poison, along with hitting weaknesses of the opposite element. Combat is done within multiple combat sections. Melee characters need to be right across from you, while ranged characters can target from any distance if they have a line of sight. Now, for an RPG coming out in 2001, this is very refreshing. You can even interact with objects in combat for things such as opening hatches and having enemies fall off or sealing off areas. I thought it may just be a gimmick, but they constantly tried their best to make this matter in combat, especially boss fights. I hate straightforward boss fights where the only key to victory is knowing when to heal. A crime many older RPGs can be accused of. Instead, every boss fight had a new way to apply every combat mechanic. I was introduced to making them fun puzzles to figure out while facing dangerous enemies.
Very glad I gave him that thing, right? Not anybody else, because they don't really need it. But yeah, very, very happy, very happy. It froze it in place? That's cool. Yeah, I'm sorry that hurts, guy.
Even normal battles can be intense. The game has major spikes in difficulty, and suddenly finding yourself scrambling to block off melee enemies has kept things exciting. We found ourselves utilizing all of the mechanics constantly, actually. That's not easy to do, so need to congratulate them for that. So, here we are. Yes, we are. Not sure if the bad section fully fits though. Not without first having a few things be known to you all. We played on a decent computer. Not that it mattered that much, but we did need to use a mod to have the game play at the scale we wanted. Also used a mod that makes things look a little bit better. So from there, we will talk about what we thought could have been better. Let's start off with gameplay. Sometimes when selecting actions, the game just wouldn't do anything for 5 minutes. Not sure why, but was annoying. Sometimes enemies would be able to attack back to back without waiting for their turn. We really felt this during the last few fights when it really mattered. As much as I loved the Mistech system, it got complicated as it expanded deeper. There aren't too many guides online, and we basically had to test things over and over and over again. Our favorite thing to do, but was kind of annoying when the explanation in-game was a little vague. We loved how they tried to introduce it though, naturally throughout the story, but would have been nice for some other instructions. Not a big deal, but maybe we missed something, possibly. The game crashed often. In a 4-hour sit down, we may have needed to reset it 3 times. Probably not the game's fault, but it's something we should mention. Some skills didn't work at all. For example, the doctor's analyze skill is supposed to display health and other information. Never exactly worked. That skill also can cause a bug. The game will be active, but the player or enemies won't be able to make actions, forcing us to reset the game. Every once in a while, there will be a movement bug that wasn't a big deal. Fuck you. That was probably the most annoying bug in the game. Your lead character would do this half-walk stuttering shit that made them take forever to get anywhere. Only way to fix this was to reset the game. Other minor issues included not being able to pick up items, sometimes skills like the tractor beam wouldn't work, and other little issues. Once again, not sure if it was due to the mods, or our computer setup, or how we set up the game. Oh yeah, we did purchase the game. We just gotta put that little tidbit out there. That's tidbit. Don't shame me. Now, it's time for the judging. A series of scores defined by, mostly yours truly, the only opinion that matters. Completely determined by my interest and enjoyment, and nothing else. And I say this game gets 7 thick biscuits for being one of the most memorable RPGs we played. Truly, one of the only things holding this game back is the multiple bugs that slow down gameplay and take you away from the beautiful world they created. Hell, knowing this game isn't getting a sequel anytime in the foreseeable future makes me want to subtract points. That's certainly considered bad. Oh my god, that sucks. This amazing game was developed by Ion Storm, and although there is information about things they wish they could do for the community, that wishes to see how it ends, there is nothing definite. Ah, fuck. But everything about it was good. Despite some of the rough areas in gameplay, we praise this game for taking many risks in its combat, storytelling, and creating a universe in which exploring is not only beneficial, but fun. I really hope we can experience the end to this tale one day. To everyone supporting us up to this point, thank you. We will try to be more on time with these reviews. Shut it. You do you. We will do our best to bring more content, and you will love it. Thank you for joining us, and if you manage to stick around here to the end, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Do whatever the fuck you want. Thank you for watching our video.
She kind of does. I gotta look up the girl from Perfect Dirt. She kind of reminds me of her. What do you see in her anyway? Tell me what you see. Damn, look at that slide. She got leg power, right? She got moves too, fuck. You know, she's not even just stripping. She's just showing off on stage. Like, yeah, I'm a fucking badass dancer. Damn! I love her. She's a boss, yo.
Sarah.
Oh, we know each other.
Hey, Bucelli.
I like her. I like her.